Alright, this is my third attempt at the introduction to this video. And the problem is I cussed at about 1 minute 19 seconds in the first time, and then I think I lasted a whole 22 seconds the second time, and then immediately right after several more came out. So I didn't think I was going to be making another video right now. I think technically we are supposed to be moving stuff around downstairs, but she's distracted, and that's exactly how I prefer it when I have things I want to get done. Yep, because we are going to Maui here next week. We didn't get there the first time we lived here because some of the travel restrictions were still in place. This was 2021, so maybe first quarter 2021. So things were still on and restriction around here, not for most things, but the governing organization that I work for said no, even though all the organizations all the way up said yes. Anyway, so we're going there, and we'll be there for a little over a week. Yeah, so I'd rather get stuff done that actually matters instead of moving furniture around, because I don't really give. What was it? Caught myself only a minute 40 in. I don't really care, so I don't hang out in those rooms. Doesn't mean I got myself again. All right, maybe I should just focus on the wand and just keep quiet about the rest. Oh man, now that I can't do it, I want to do it all over the place. You know what I'm saying? But I try not to within the first 3 minutes. I don't know what their idiotic rule is, because they're not going to tell you. This YouTube's full of a bunch of just jerk squirts. Whatever. I don't care. They can bite something. All right, let's get back to focus here. So I decided I'm going to use this harsher file as opposed to this one. Part of it is the size. And this is slightly smaller. It is more closely aligned to the grooves that we have here, even though they kind of vary a bit themselves. But as we have said before, or I have said before, and you've been very patiently listening to now again, it's super easy to take wood off, but putting it back on is a bit beyond my means with stuff like this. So I'm going to be using this first. Now what I wish I had was a nice neat little handle like this. And they do make detachable handles like that. I have one right here, and it does come off, but it's been on this one, which is pretty damn thick, right? It's a very coarse file. It's been on this one for so long that it's not going to work with anything that's not this thick. Now what do I use this for? And here's a little bonus for you. This is a block of cedar. I use this thick, very coarse file to make shavings with said cedar, and then I burn them on incense discs. So when you want to make pine or cedar or any type of wood you can get a small amount of, and please make sure it's not treated wood. Here they treat almost all the wood here, so you gotta be very careful with that, or so you're not inhaling all those chemicals, particles, all that stuff. It's not gonna be good for you. But this is how I do it. I've had this block of cedar for years. It doesn't take much, because you're not going to be sitting here burning it for hours, or else you might as well make a fire and then just buy a block of cedar or a board of cedar and then toss it in, right? So there you go. Friendly little pro tip today for those of you who like to make your own offerings. And with this cedar, I particularly do. I don't get many requests for pine, but those times that I had, this is how I do it. So this can also be used, actually, if you have my decaying candle. I have videos up about the decaying candle, and when I want shavings from a particularly heavy piece of wood that's soaked up all sorts of who knows what, but it's probably not good stuff from Pearl Harbor, over a period of time, this thing is like it's about twice the weight that it should be. Then this is the file that I use for that, because it's very coarse. The teeth are quite good at removing large amounts of it. And since I guess I'm teaching you something, maybe I'm teaching somebody doesn't know this. Didn't realize I was going to be teaching. Give me a second here. Alright, this is a piece of paperwork I have. You don't need to see the other side. But if you're going to do this, then you go ahead. This is a government document. No, it does not have any incriminating information on it, but all the same, you just fold it into a square like this. Oh, come on, you sack of shit. Let's go. Wait, is it over 3 minutes? Hell yeah. Alright, cuss away. Alright, as long as you fold it like that, it's going to give you a nice little catch basin. There you go. Shazam. All right. I got a ritual later tonight, so I can use that if they'll accept it. If they don't accept it, then I'll just go ahead and burn it anyhow. Because I don't want to... Cedar, the smell of cedar comes from the oils and stuff that's in it, and those are just going to kind of evaporate. And I'd rather just grind it fresh when it's desired. Off topic, but there you go. There's your, I don't want to say pro tip because it's not really it's not really complicated, right? All right, here we go. Enough talking. Let's go. So this groove was pretty good. I am going to be kind of come back and looking. Say this isn't completely straight, and I don't really want to be wrong too many times. I mean, I can be. I mean, even if I were to screw this up royally, I would still probably work on it to finish it because I want the experience of doing it. And I think it's going to be okay. I'll just have to pay attention to some of those areas where it's we had to make some detours, alterations. And I kind of need to get this part right because everything else is going to follow after this, right? It's going to follow this groove right here. I am so lucky that I have this file. And while I'm at it, don't be afraid to use old farm stuff like this, even if it's rusted, because this thing is rusted all over the place because it just doesn't get used. And why you'll rust them anyhow, right? I've talked about that in the past. My chisels. Okay, here we go. We gotta cut more of a channel here. So there's a slight deviation. Alright, here we go. Yeah, but don't be afraid to... this finger's gonna hurt if I keep pushing down like that. Don't be afraid to use old farm stuff like that because it lasts. There was a detour. Detour. Alteration. My hands hurt. I mean, here's partially why. Here's why. So that stick that failed, this is that stick now. I kind of showed the first 7 minutes of it, but I went to town on this damn thing. And if you look at this end here, it's still rotted. But to get this down like this that quick, there was some serious freaking pressure. This fought me for quite a bit actually, and it's evident in the video. I guess it may not be evident in the first 13 minutes, but the other I think it was like 33, 35, something like that minute video. Maybe 40 or something, I don't remember, but see all the voids in here, the void in here. All these things are fighting. It's rotting right here. And I literally had to take it down to this just to make a determination. See? It just doesn't have the strength to do it. Which is unfortunate because I really wanted it to work. But that was a lot of work, and it was a lot of brute-ish work. Trying to move this because it's hot as shit in here, and this table is plastic also, so it all this stuff is going to end up on my forearms. Okay, here we go. Go. Let's go back down. Oof. Damn. I'm such an office worker. Alright, oh. I thought there was this big patch of something right here, but it was just on the back of the screen. So, not bad. Not the cleanest, but we can clean that up. That's not that big of a problem. We just need to cut these grooves a little bit deeper, like what we're doing now, and we're going to go the opposite way. And one good use case for using something like this is that unlike a little guy or gal like this, yeah, we can do it, but there's a lot of leeway, there's a lot of room, and right now we want to kind of limit that as we define these areas, and they're going to be defined pretty severely, I think. They're going to kind of have to be. So really what we're doing is, and I'll kind of have to play this by ear, quite frankly, but I think when I'm starting to look at it like this, what I think is going to end up happening is that these will expand the grooves as we want to reduce this, which I know doesn't sound earth-shattering. Like, this needs cleaned up for damn sure. It's probably just I moved the thing a little wrong, but that's probably how this is going to go. And then we'll determine how wide we want these, and what features we really want to preserve is really what's going to determine how well that's going to work out. Quite frankly, I was a little torn here, taking this to the end and then accentuating that. But what would probably end up happening is I'll probably just drill a hole, because I do have manual drills, and that way I can say no power tools were used. Just drill this area out, and somebody can attach a crystal to it. It's not that big a deal. They can put a cap on there with a crystal on the end of it. Not that big a deal. I'm not real thrilled with some of these curves, but we got time to clean them up, and I mean, that's just the nature of it. So, and if it gets screwed up, you know, another piece will come along. But just go ahead and roll. Like this area right here looks a little uncertain. It needs to find, and part of that will happen as it deepens. But the groove itself, it had to be altered there because that's why it's not quite straight. So we can fix that when we start taking away from some of the other sides, but we need this trench cut first. That. So let's sort of square this out. See where this is going. So okay, this, yeah, we're okay. Got to be kind of careful here, but that's going to be the case along a lot of this stuff. Straighten that out. I mean, I need to put pressure down on it, but I can't put so much that I'm altering some of this other stuff, right? So I'm going to start to try to make this groove just a little bit more uniform. Do that? Oh, that's why. Since we know that a lot of these lumps and whatnot, these nodules, I don't really know what to call them. Nubs is just kind of doesn't quite fit what I want to, the way I see it in my head. We can ignore them to some extent, but not totally. Because we still want it to be aesthetically pleasing. And if it, like, here's a challenging area right here where things have been kind of got a little off. I mean, we can always take this one to it, which is slightly larger. It will increase the gap, and that may just be the way we end up going anyhow, depending on how I think it would look elsewhere. And then we may just apply a little bit more pressure to a side that we don't care about, or to a feature we're less concerned with keeping than crap. Then the feature we want to keep. Why is that so hard to say? Good God. So far, this is well, I mean, given how hard it was to cut the channel, this was probably the way to go. Maybe used a little one or something to kind of start it off. But my concern was the drift, right? That's partially why we cut the channel, drew it out. So if there's some difference here. Go, come on, there we go. See, now it doesn't look too bad. Still see a little bit of it here, but you know, I mean, we'll touch those up, and there's going to be just some. There's I suppose you could say there's a skills gap here on my part, which is fine. I mean, you're not going to get the skills if you don't do the work, right? So we're trying to straighten out these curves as best we can, trying to determine. I don't think any of these were really in danger of messing something up, so I'll be a bit more cavalier. As you can see, I got to hold this in place. Okay, and this is where the handle was, so we're gonna go a little easier on this one. All right, so we're less likely. Woo. I have no idea why I laughed like that, but I think it's because I caught it. Gaff avoided. Oh my god. Sweat little pig. Alright. Oh, I even got this little fan going on me. 21 minutes. Alright, so we cut our first. Probably gonna end it here. Likely start another one, we'll see. So we got our grooves in here, and there's obviously still room for improvement. We know they aren't going to be perfect, but they are somewhat uniform here. And the depth, we can always change the depth, right? Because some of these are a bit deeper than others, and some of this works a little bit easier than others, right? So I think this is a pretty solid start. I think, really, I'm actually pretty pleased. I do have some concerns, though, and these are largely going to play out over the next few videos, I think. And one is that how much of this am I going to keep? How I can go as deep with this as I want to go. I can go as deep with it as I want to, right? Within reason. I mean, if it starts to weaken it, then it reduces the options that I'll have. But not all of these are the same. They're pretty close. Much closer than I expected, quite frankly, and you know, yeah. But I still have concerns about this area here because I can go as deep as I want. But what do I want to do here? And I know I said I was going to leave it, but I can't just leave it. I have to. I'll have to do at least some light sanding. I don't know how much shaping I'll have to do, but I'll have to do some sanding. The shaping may come into things that I need to take down, but I don't know that that's really going to be a case here. I feel like I should be considering that, but it may just be habit, right? I mean, really, it's not bad. I mean, I'm not a perfectionist, as you probably well know by now, and I actually had that happen in an interview one time. Somebody asked me if I could be the best at something, what would it be? And I told them I've already been the best at something, which is true. It was part of a lab process that I first figured out how to double the output, and then I figured out how to triple it, and then I tripled that. And I said, if you give me these other items, I can triple all of that. There'd be some extra people and some equipment and stuff, but so we were so far ahead of the curve that we were finding the bugs in their software, the processes, because it was in a lab. But what ended up happening was I was basically told I wasn't gonna be allowed to take days off because we needed to get something done for like the next half year, and I'm like, that doesn't work for me. You're not paying me enough for that shit. So, so that was a long story, but my answer to this guy was, I don't want to be the best at anything. I've already been the best at something, but I do want to be damn good at what I do. And I'm not saying this is damn good, but this is going to be the start to me becoming damn good, right? So, well, I guess not the start, so it's kind of stupid, but you know what I'm saying, though. I want to be damn good at what I do, and so I want my work to reflect that as best I can make it. And you know, we're working with what we got, and I would say who we got. In that case, it's me, so it still applies. So, working it like this, part of my concern was how thick. I mean, that's a thick boy right there. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm like, all right, well, these are the areas that I would normally take away from to bring these other raised areas out. It's just there are so many on here. I'm just like, what the hell am I gonna do? I know I want to do this, so that's kind of what I'm focusing on right now. And I'm not sure if I'm going to shave some of these down later and just keep the little nodules like this that I have marked for personality or something, but My concern is that I'm going to take these down so far, and I absolutely plan on doing it, that it may weaken the wood. But you know what? I think I said at the beginning of this, right? Another one is going to come along, because this wood is everywhere, like right here. Not quite as thick, bark still on it, not quite as wand carving ready, but all right, that's just going to be it for now. And you can kind of see where my mind's going to go, but we're probably just going to do this for like the next couple of videos, to both, you know, straighten some of this stuff out, increase the depth, see how I feel about it at that point. And that's also going to buy me some time for the thinking about the rest of this stuff, because sometimes you just need the answer to come to you, and that's pretty much what I'm going to be hoping for, quite frankly. Now, if you got comments on it, you got suggestions, I'll be doing this for a couple of videos, which actually may just be done today. But anyways, if you got suggestions or something, please let me know, because even if I can't take them for some reason, like I'm past that point here, by the time I see the comment, they might be useful somewhere else. And so I'm open to suggestions. I do appreciate them. I appreciate you know, reviewing. I actually get quite a few views on this, and I'm actually quite thankful. God didn't expect any of this to matter to anybody but me, actually. So thank you, and I will see you in the next video.